Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Leafins.
And welcome to the last episode of Our City Tonight for the year 2024.
Wow, this year's gone so fast, but we're here at Parker Rooftop, and it's a real festive feeling in this place today.
It really is, and I gotta say, for the second episode in a row, this has never happened. You've got me to wear this hat.
Oh, that hat looks great on you, Mr. Claus.
Yes, exactly. Okay, before I rip this off, let's get to this edition of Our City Tonight.
Maui Memories from the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival is brought to you by the Kanapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play.
We are here with Tim Anderson. He is the director of marketing for this fabulous hotel, the Westin Maui Resort and Spa.
Do go on.
Oh my gosh. No, it's spectacular. And we have had the luck to take the little tour, big tour actually, of this property with Robin, and she showed us a lot of the sites. But we wanted to sit down with you and just talk about your favorite parts of this, and then I can fill in a little bit and ask a few questions. And
sure.
So let our audience know what's happening here at the Westin.
Okay, yeah, wonderful. Thanks for having me. It's a great pleasure to be with you. Our goal in the marketing world obviously is to shout far and wide the beauty of the property, the popularity of the property, and it's great to be able to talk about the Westin here on Maui, on the west side of Maui, obviously, and what we're looking for people to come back and kind of rediscover the island, rediscover the resort. We are, my favorite part of the place is we're a wealth of wellness here at the resort. So a lot of the Westin brand pillars we put into really good play, from the heavenly bed that you sleep on in your room to the Run Westin program where you can run in the morning and exercise and just be out in nature. But I think one of the things we've done great at the resort since our renovation the last few years has been to really bring the concept of the outdoors in and bring the indoors out. As you walk into the lobby, we've got this beautiful living wall that leads to this open lobby that you walk in, and the goal was to open the property up to the nature, to things around you, and you feel kind of a microcosm or a microenvironment of Hawaii.
Very
with the waterfalls,
much.
the flamingos, the koi fish, and it's just kind of a neat welcome to Hawaii if you've never been here before.
Not to mention all the birds, all the fabulous parrots that we got to meet personally.
Lots of characters, lots of characters. But I think what it does is it gets you immediately to the island and immediately to the beach.
We have to talk about the games room, though.
Okay. As part of the renovation, or as the renovation continued, we had some spots that were underutilized, if you will, and found a way to bring in kind of a trendy gamification of travel and resorts, if you will, and add the Valley Alley. Which is our signature arcade, if you will, but we call it an adult entertainment outlet. It serves some great food and beverage, some great pub fare, that kind of stuff into the evening hours. But I think what it does for families, for example, right? You come, you're here, you go to the beach, your kids are sunburned. It might be 1 or 2 days where it rains for you on Maui in the year, and you can go to the game room and really bring the kid out in you.
Lastly, the restaurants where you can eat on this property.
Yeah, very, very good question. So we've got a number of outlets. The Valley Alley does serve food. I will mention that as well as open to the public. So one extra piece that we thought was really important in that was we could provide a place for the public to come and gather. And if you're in there most evenings, there's a lot of locals that are in there. It's a lot of connecting, a lot of stories, a lot of just fun with the locals and travelers alike.
Terrific.
One of our signature, our other main restaurant is Hale Mo'olelo, and Hale is kind of a Hawaiian word for the home or center. Mo'olelo is the art of talking story. And then up at our adult pool, as you mentioned earlier, we've got some great spots for the adults only and for the family. Up on the highest deck of our pool is the Hale'a, which is a adults only bar area. Great vista point for the sunset. Great
gorgeous.
Place to connect. And then, as I mentioned, Valley Alley's got some food in there as well. But one of the things we were most excited about is directly below us, as we joined with Chef Peter Merriman from the Merriman Restaurants and Handcrafted Restaurants to open Ulu Kitchen earlier this year.
Yes.
And just a beautiful, not to mention the views. You're sitting right on the boardwalk, right on the beachfront, looking directly at the sunset. But Ulu Kitchen and the Merriman Group, they do a wonderful job of bringing all of that local, all the local produce in, all the local catch in, everything that they can get from the field or the ocean right up onto your table. And with this success of their Monkey Pod restaurant just up the boardwalk, and Merriman's up in Kapalua, it's just a name brand you really can't beat in Hawaii. They're a wonderful brand, they're a wonderful company, and just a partner that we couldn't have dreamed of to have a better partner there, and just have had great success over the past few months with them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. This property, I have to say, having experienced it firsthand, we still have a little bit more exploring to do. It's just gorgeous. Thank you for joining us and filling us in and encouraging our Canadian friends as well as others when it goes online, this show, to come down and rediscover Maui as you all are talking about.
Perfect. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Aloha.
Thanks, Dan. Bye.
Well, another great event here at the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. Lita, I don't care what you say, it has cooled down a little bit, but the food is definitely hot.
It is definitely hot, and this event is all about Mediterranean Italian flavors. We have 10 great chefs, and it's called Vita La Vino. Definitely an event you'd want to check out, and they all have kind of an Italian or a Hawaiian flair to these dishes.
Maui Memories from the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival was brought to you by the Kanapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play.
Well, we hope you're enjoying the show. We just want to take a moment to remind you to check out the print version of our TV show.
That's right. We've got a number of print versions, including the Richmond Sentinel, one of our big partners, of course. And we're looking at, well, this was a nice cover of us, but we also have some recent guests on the cover of the Richmond Sentinel. You can check it out in print, of course. You can also check out all the editions online at their website. And you can also check out a lot of the stuff we do on this show on the Richmond Sentinel website.
And what is that website, Jim?
richmondsentinel.ca. Now back to the show. It has been the #1 daytime drama for over 35 years. Last year, it celebrated 35 years on the air, and just last month, it celebrated its 13,000th episode. Recently, at the studio offices of one of our major partners, the Richmond Sentinel, I had the chance to sit down and talk to two of the biggest stars of Young and the Restless. Let's take a look. Well, joining us now for the first time on our show, I'm very excited about this, to have, these two are part of a super couple of daytime drama. It's Laura Lee Bell, it's Michael Damian, you know them. Also, as Christine Cricket Blair and Danny Romolotti. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Hey.
We love that title, super couple.
Yeah.
It was so big in the 80s and even in the 90s. And like now, nobody really, I mean, they say supermodel or whatever, but very few super couples. So when we were presenting at the Emmys last year, it was part of our intro. And we were like, we'll stand up here for a while.
Yeah. We milked it. Yeah, they had to bring a hook out.
So thank you.
I tell you what, though, I mean, you guys all, in all seriousness, you are one of those couples they'd probably put on the pantheon of super couples. I'll start with you, Lorelei. What is it you attribute? Obviously, you're both well-liked as actors. The characters are nice, which always helps. But what is this enduring love that fans have for this couple who I can say, at the time we're taping this, are happier than they've ever been? Lorelei, you pick it up from there.
I mean, I think people like, young women would root along with me and imagine themselves also maybe trying to date Danny Romalotti. When Cricket was young, it was like, is this even possible? He's a little bit older. There's groupies everywhere. I mean, not that much, like just a wee bit older. And so I think they were rooting for me, but secretly kind of, knowing that this could happen for them as well. And it started off as a friendship. And in real time, we grew from friends to he asked me out on a date, perhaps. We don't remember anything. And then maybe you sang to me a few thousand times this far away from my face. It's not easy to do when Michael Dane singing a love song.
It's terrifying, I think, at some point.
And then, it just progressed. So I think because it was a gradual thing and everyone got to see our playful, fun, romantic courtship, an old term. I think they fell in love with love.
Yeah, and Michael, jump in here because I think the fans have grown up with you. We've all grown up with you. Michael, jump in here. What is it about these two people that we just love and want to see together no matter what?
Well, I think that, as Lorelei said, I mean, the arc is incredible. What your dad created was like, it was brilliant. I mean, he created this, these two characters and the storyline that had this amazing arc and so much fun. And we had, there were so many spontaneous scenes that felt very organic and almost like we watched them because sometimes they'll put them up on social media and we're thinking, wow, do you remember that scene? That was really fun and really spontaneous and it made it real.
Yeah, I think that's it. And we're all of a certain age where we don't have time in the episode to get into hairstyles from the.
Oh, but I would love to. I mean, that was like.
He could talk about it for hours.
Don't get me started on that.
We could talk about different sprays.
I'll never forget. Lorelai's dad calling is like, I just want to talk to you about something. I'm like, oh, he's got something important to tell me. This is interesting. Was it? It's like, can you please get a haircut?
Yes.
My hair was so big in the. You remember how big my hair was?
Yes. We were all trying to wear our hair like you, Michael, back then.
When I watched now I watch those episodes, your dad was so right. I mean, what was wrong with me? I mean, I had a mullet, a pre-mullet. It's not.
It was perfect for
not very
Danny back then. I had a lot to grab onto.
That's right. You guys touched on those little moments that you have as actors, and that's really a big part of it. One of the things I always make a point of asking actors who on daytime, nighttime, long-running shows or long-running franchises on film is that how do you keep it, especially in daytime where I call it a fitness center with what you guys do acting-wise. How do you keep it fresh, and can you talk a bit about you and your connection with the writers? Obviously, you both really know the characters that you play really well, but is there a synergy between you and the writers after all these years? And again, talk about adding freshness that you do and as a challenge as an actor.
Well, I mean, just in terms of freshness, last week we were very tight on time, and it was like, guys, we're going straight to tape. So, I mean, talk about a freshness. Like, I just learned this last night or the night before, and now we're going straight to tape. I mean, there's just this adrenaline rush with the speed that we have to maintain. So, even though it's the same character, you're getting a new script constantly. So the freshness is there.
Hey, we should also say, I would like to add, all modesty aside, that you're talking about being on the show a long time, but when you are on, the ratings go up. And I was reading the other day that when you did a crossover appearance on your, I guess I'll call it your sister show, Bold and Beautiful, the ratings went up there. So there you are after all these decades, and fans.
No one's ever really pointed that out. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
It's not us. It would
those
been a great commercial they put on.
Those 6 fans, when they watch, I'm telling you, there's a spike. Nielsen's spike. 6 fans came in.
In all seriousness, we do have the best fans. Like,
they're incredible.
We feel very lucky in this day to have sort of that group who back us. Like when there were sort of like fan clubs and things like that in the 90s or whatever. God bless Brenda Grapevine and we like they call themselves the Bug Squad because I'm Cricket, who literally push. When we come on and do countdowns and all of that. So
they're amazing.
There was a lot of pressure going over to Bold and Beautiful because there was like, oh, you guys are coming over. It's going to be so fun. And there was that hint of like, will you bring over some Y&R people? We don't know. We have to hope. And people definitely came through for us. So we really thank them and appreciate that.
Hey, listen, I know you guys are busy and we've managed to not talk about storylines. I'm sorry to our fans out there. We cannot, but I want to say this. This is the tagline, folks. Does Danny make it home in time to ring in the new year with Christine? I want to get this right, too. Canadian
He's smart, he does.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope he does, or we may not run this segment again.
Oh, what if he comes back to General City and doesn't see her?
Yeah, exactly.
No, we've been together.
We want to say to our viewers watching in Canada that you can check this important moment out December 27th and the 30th. If you are like a lot of my friends do, they watch the US feed. You can check that out December 30th and the 31st. Thank you both. Happy holidays, and really enjoyed you being a part of the show today. We look forward to seeing everything that your characters do next year.
We appreciate this so much, and we love our Canada fans, Canadian fans.
Yes.
We're so grateful. So grateful.
Thank you so much. Sponsorship and other promotional considerations provided by Bosa Foods, authentic Italian, with 2 locations to serve you better. More information, go to bosafoods.com.
This wine moment is brought to you by Ethica Wines. Italian roots, global reach.
Well, nothing says holidays like sparkling, bubbly wine, and it's personally one of my favorites, of course, too. We are here with Andrea. You are the Regional Sales Manager for Western Canada for Ethica Wines, and you have some amazing products to share with us right in time for not only Christmas, but into the New Year's season. We're so excited, and you are one of our longtime wine partners, so welcome back to our city tonight.
Thanks, Lita. It was always great seeing you and talking about some of our wines, and there's no better time of year to drink these wines than over the holidays. So yeah, it's nice to see you.
Well, we're both long-time, all-season bubble drinkers, I know that. But these ones, if people are looking to try something maybe a little new, put in their repertoire, don't quite have want to go into the champagnes, these are incredible options. I mean, I think I'd choose these over having the champagnes.
For sure. I mean, there's nothing better than Prosecco at Christmas time.
I agree.
but you're
completely.
right. It's all year round.
Yes.
And we have some great, our property here, La Gioiosa, which means joyous. So it's just perfect for this time of year. They really are exceptional, value-driven Proseccos. Mm-hmm. These are fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm dying to try this one. As I take a sip of this one, can you tell us a little bit about our first one here?
So we're in northwestern Italy. We're in Treviso, and this is in the heart of Prosecco country. So our Prosecco house, La Gioiosa, is one of the, it's actually the number 1 brand in Italy for Prosecco.
Oh, interesting.
And funny enough, if you actually travel in Italy in the autostradas, there's a lot of these gas stations that give you gourmet food and amazing coffees. More often than not, you're going to see La Gioiosa in one of those gas stations.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I am tasting this, and then we can move on to sort of the sister wine. As we were talking off camera, it's difficult to get a really good, solid rosé Prosecco.
Sure. Rosé in general at a good price.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we're talking about the varietal in Prosecco, we're talking about Glera. Glera is the varietal. And when it comes into Pinot Noir, the minimum has to be 20% Pinot Noir to call it a Prosecco Rosé. And so that's where you get in the color and a little bit of skin contact there. So it's definitely a fantastic rosé. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What do you think of that?
Okay, that's amazing. A little bit of fruit tasting in that, a little strawberry, if I'm correct. But that's amazing, and that will definitely
it's a great contrast between the regular Prosecco. I call it the yellow label. And I personally like both wines. It's always great to have that contrast.
Perfect on the dinner table for both. And I know that both of these would be great with turkey.
You know what? Anything really. I love it with panettone, which is like an Italian cake.
Ah, yes.
You know, at the end of dinner, it's very traditional to have that in an Italian household, and you know, it's great. I think it's the perfect match.
It's good with everything. Okay, let's go on to this Grand Dame here.
Yeah, it does have a bit of a Grand Dame feel, doesn't it?
Does.
Okay, so we're in again in northern Italy. This is in Lombardia, is the province, and the region is called Franciacorta. Now, Franciacorta is a very tiny region, but we date back, the property was in 1970s that this was created. It was actually the second Franciacorta property that started making the bubbles in the region.
Perfect.
And Franciacorta is done in the traditional method, like in Champagne, but a tenth of the size of Champagne. So when we talk about these wines, we really talk about the quality has to be there to be competitive. And so a lot of my job is to try to persuade people that, you know, if maybe try something different in Champagne. Everybody is kind of holding some dollars in their hands these days, you know?
Yeah.
So if you can find an alternate, Franciacorta would be perfect for that.
Well, I'm going to give the disclosure that I did try this already, and Mark caught me on camera trying this. This did blow me away because you close your eyes, and if you are a big Champagne fan, this will trick you.
I love it. It's mostly
delicious.
Chardonnay, about 95%, with a little bit of Pinot Noir and Pinot Blanc as well for the blend.
Oh gosh, I hope you have lots in stores here.
We do. We have some local retailers that carry it, and of course, there's quite a few restaurants in Vancouver that do carry this as well.
That is amazing. That is really where dollars should be going. I know, no offense to champagne makers, but that is incredible. And everyone is sort of on budgets these days.
Yeah.
This, you're not
really,
sacrificing.
Yeah, it really can compete with Champagne. It's actually aged a lot longer, almost 36 months.
Wow.
So the quality is really exceptional. If you ever have a chance to be in Franciacorta in the Lombardy region, I do recommend visiting some of these properties because they're breathtaking.
Well, before we let you go, Andrea, tell us a little bit more about the portfolio of Ethica Wines.
Yeah, Ethica Wines. We've been in existence for about 10 years. We have 3 great distributors across Canada that bring in our wines. And we try to represent every region in Italy. We're working always to add more to our portfolio. Yeah, it's a great company. We're always looking for different properties in Italy. We love sending people to visit some of our properties there as well, which is always exciting because there's nothing better than drinking some of these wines in a vineyard.
Absolutely.
And really, experiencing that Italian feel.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks again. Some great bubbly from Ethica Wines with Andrea.
This wine moment is brought to you by Ethica Wines. Italian roots, global reach.
This act of kindness segment is sponsored by the folks at the Creek House in the heart of Granville Island. They encourage you to open up your heart and reach out and help someone in need. Well, we are back here in this last episode of 2024, and our familiar face here, our kindness ambassador, Mr. David McCann from Creek House. We're in the wonderful, very festive, Dave, Sandbar seafood restaurant here on the island. Come check this out if you haven't been to Granville Island in a while. Hey, some housekeeping to do first. I have been waiting, patiently to make this announcement. We can now make this announcement. It was made official last week. You are receiving the Order of Canada.
I'm just been made an officer of the Order of Canada. It's really a surprise. I'm shocked. And my first official act as an officer of the Order of Canada is to plead with Canadians to help. This is a heart-wrenching story, and I just am hoping for a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, you came to us and said, I've got the story, and you laid it out to Lita and I and said it would be great if we could get this in.
Yep.
In the last episode of the year, which is right around the holidays and Christmas time. So let's break this down, if we can, just to give our viewers a little taste, and then we're going to have somebody come on to talk a little more about it. This story just outraged me, but also broke my heart.
Yep. Jerry Bellard, a reporter from the Vancouver Sun I worked with on the Adopt a School program for years, called me and said, look, there's a family, 2 little girls and a mother. One daughter is suffering from a very rare brain disease and is eligible for a drug trial in the United States in Salt Lake City. They appealed to the federal government to a program to get costs for transportation and accommodations while they're there, and were turned down. They have the right of appeal, but they don't have the money to hire a lawyer for an appeal. And Jerry said, can you help? And I've never done this before. I'd give back the Order of Canada if the government would give them the money.
It's very sweet. Listen, people watch our show, they know the amount of goodwill and good work you do here. What do you want to do here? Like, what can we do to help this family?
I'm going to do 2 things. One is if the government doesn't come through and approve them for this program, this compassionate program, I will pay for the airfares. Unfortunately, I don't have the resources to do more. I will appeal to Canadians. I'll put a program in place. I'll ask Canadians to contribute. We've got 4 Canadians who are prepared to manage the money to make sure that it's sufficient. And we'll get this young girl down to Salt Lake City. We'll get her enrolled in the program. We'll see if this experimental drug actually works and saves her life.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do, we don't often do this with your segments.
We've never done it before.
Yeah, and also because of our time and everything, what we're going to ask you to do, folks, is go over to our website, to ourcitytonightTV.com, and go check out our episodes. We're going to talk to the courageous mother. This woman is a fantastic person. She's going to come in and explain a little more on our YouTube version. That's where you'll see the rest of this interview.
Thank you.
This Act of Kindness segment was sponsored by the folks at the Creek House in the heart of Granville Island. They encourage you to open up your heart and reach out and help someone in need. Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community.
Well, we're back here where we started the episode at Parker Rooftop, downtown Vancouver, and we're looking forward to actually showcasing some of their cocktails in the next episode.
That's right, cocktails for the new year.
Yes.
To you, thank you all for watching this year. We look forward to showing more of our show and what we cover in 2025. I'm Jim Gordon.
Merry Christmas from Lita Leapins.
Yes, and Happy New Year. We will see you in January.
You can contact us and watch past episodes at ourcitytonightTV.com. The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.